Nah, I don't mind.
You know what we
I'm just
haven't
talking
discussed?
shit.
You know what we didn't even touch on? It feels like so empty without the books. But we didn't even talk about the books.
Yeah, I'm glad you remembered, because I actually wanted to bring that up again, and I actually wanted to share some of the shit I'm learning
In Randlords.
in that book.
It was Randlords, right?
Yeah, the Randlords. Even the author is like really good.
And I was reading Roots. I can't remember the author's name.
Alex Haley.
Alex Haley, that's correct. Kunta's journey. He turned into Toby on the plantation.
Yeah, you tell me about it, because I've never read the book. I just heard a lot about it.
Dude, it's a big book, number one. And I struggle personally to read, like, I know big books, like with long chapters.
Should I hit record? Oh,
we are
shit,
recording, bro.
Recording, my bad. Right.
But, you know, on that, like, I don't know, I kind of lost my passion for reading, and like I said, I picked it up a little bit this year. And that type of a style of a writing is very difficult for me to get into. So if anybody is struggling,
how's it styled?
Like long chapters. That's mainly my thing.
Yeah,
I think
I hate long chapters.
Me too, dude. Like I like.
It feels like you're not making any progress.
Exactly. That's how I feel, and now I'm already holding a book this big.
Yeah.
You know, so like I don't have any benchmarks for myself in a book. So I found finding books that are more shorter stories within a story was like my type, even if it's inspirational or like Robert Greene on how his style writes, you know, where it's one value that he wants to put through in this chapter or sub-chapter, even if there's a lot of sub-chapters.
For me, reading has become not about the quantity but the quality, and by quality I mean I'll read a thin book but it'll be dense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know? True.
Because
I would prefer that as well.
Yeah.
But anyways, not to take away from this book, Roots, but it's, you know, like you asked me to read it and I was like, fuck, it's quite a tough book to read. Obviously it's about slavery and him getting taken from his home and moved into a plantation, and the relationship that I got up to, I think chapter 6 or something, and his relationship with the plantation owner and how fucked up it was for them, on how they took away his identity basically, you know. And that is obviously super hard to read. And
where was he coming from? Have you ever read such a book though?
Well, yeah, I've at school we've had to read certain types of books about like the apartheid and stuff like that. So we obviously I've done certain things, but like I said, I wasn't a big reader. After varsity, I didn't pick up too many books unless it was like a self-help book. I read a lot of those like in and out of varsity, so I wasn't really going onto that type of a thought train. This is quite thought-provoking in the sense of like how somebody had to deal with knowing nobody in this new type of a world and being treated the way they are treated, not basically being fed just the emotional abuse, physical abuse that they were to receive. So, but like we said in one of the podcasts, thank God this has been demolished, but this was a worldwide fucking thing.
Yeah.
And it's terrible to think that this happened to anybody. So,
but I mean, it's still there, dog. It's still there. It's just that it's not a common practice.
That's what one of the topics that I want to bring up today, and it's something that we always talk about topics, but what are our perspectives on how to stop this in our own ways, how to stop our own thought processes on how to go down this like rabbit hole and think the world is shit and it is racist. Because like, why don't we tell the positive stories of all the success that is been through integration and business success stories on both ends that are working conglomerate, like, you know, there's a lot of. But anyway, that's a big topic.
It is a big topic, but an interesting one.
Yeah.
And I did a quick flash thought on what I think my answer would be. And I think I hate to say it, but we're inherently evil. You know, we're inherently evil, but we also inherently have the potential to do good. You know?
Yeah,
And by evil, I don't mean everyone has the capacity or is probably going to kill someone. I mean, like the Bible describes evil as he who knows to do right and doesn't do it. You know the right thing to do, but you don't do it. You've done evil or you've sinned against yourself. Right? I found that to be a very interesting concept that explains wrong and right, because in a situation where, you know, I'm trying to tell you, oh, Shannon, you know, I've got this goal of reaching 1 million streams for one of my songs, and you're like, you, 1 million streams? Ah, please. Yeah. You know, that is already you tapping into that evil, because you're casting a shadow of negativity on something positive that I'm doing. Yeah. And there's a lot of that exists, because you're sitting there thinking, man, why him and not me?
No, I don't think that.
But I mean, that's the weakness. It's a weakness that we have as people, and you know, over time.
So maybe we should think that everybody is evil. Is that what you said?
Yes, we should think that everybody is evil, striving to be good.
Okay,
you know,
it's an interesting thought,
and also to be able to afford people the platform and the opportunity to be good. To you. You know, like. For one thing that I'm reading a lot in these new age religion books and manifestation, all that shit is, don't tell anybody what you're planning. I'm like, man, if I really believe that what I'm planning is going to come to be,
how can I?
Why should I keep it a secret?
But maybe that's because there's so many snakes in the grass that might steal
but that's what
or try
I'm saying.
To compromise.
Isn't that too much of a focus on? Okay, look, you're my friend, right? You wouldn't jack my idea. Some friends would, but not you, right? I'm talking about a friend like you. Like you have no reason not to want the best for you. Shouldn't I confide in you? But 100%. This law is saying don't confide in people. Don't tell a soul what you're planning, because people have. Actually, I'm quoting the Bible too much now. It says,
preach, brother. Preach.
The heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it? You know. So it's that's my reasoning. That's my reasoning. And like, you know, we said it in our first podcast. We're gonna say it again. I'll say it again. For this world to work the way it's supposed to work, you have to be the change you want to see.
Exactly. That's my big point.
You know, we can't be preaching about changing, but we're not changing ourselves.
And seeing everybody, like I said it. So we've been away for a long time. You know, apologies to the viewers out there. We even came back last week to shoot a video, and then life just happened.
But that's part 1. This is part 2.
Are we still part 2ing it?
Yeah. I think it's a great continuation. I feel like we're venting that part 1. Now I feel like the vent continues.
Well, part 2 then.
We'll get back to the topics. Right now it's just like, you know, there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, well, anyways, you know, for me it's, I said it last time, it's that Bishop, your chummy, you know.
Maponga.
Yeah. And it's just to see everyone as humans and want the best for every fucking person. I'm good, you know, thanks. A little bit gift. Just wanting the best for everybody. How could you see somebody hungry? Like, as an honest human, does it make... I can't see anybody in the lineup seeing a hungry human not wanting to feed that human. Like, is like what you're saying, are they just like such evil people that would want to see another person suffer? And do we have to... how do we work around that? Because that's fucked up.
I don't think it's always like that, black and white, because it's not that I want to see you suffer. It also could be that I want that for myself.
Yeah, but that's greed.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but
that's also an expression of the evil.
Yeah, but now we're solving like world human problems.
Like
you've got to
stoners.
I just want people to take when they're thinking about it, really just think on it from so many different perspectives before you make up your mind. Especially if you're watching a video, if you're watching something, because right now I'm struggling right now on my feeds, getting, especially on Facebook, because we're a little bit older, we still use that social media platform.
It's true. I won't even deny it.
Yeah. Like some of it, bro, like one of these guys, I won't mention his name, but he's posting every day about like these videos of how a black person is mistreated by a white person, you know? And some of the videos, in the sense of like not beating or like he's just throwing facts, like look at the population of white people, how much land they own, like types of videos like that, which is very informative on some of the videos. But there's also an agenda behind it that he puts a lot of it, like there was a school that they, for one of the days, all the pupils watch each other's feet. So like the grade 12s wash the feet of the grade 8s and vice versa.
Okay.
Now this motherfucker takes a video and it's a clip of just the black kids washing the white kids' feet. And he's like, where is this racist school? Now me, as a responsible fucking human, I was like, never. That I must do a little bit more investigation.
Yeah.
I go online, I find the school, and I'm just like, I see the video, dude, and it's vice versa. The school is like 60-40% mix, all Indian, and they're all washing each other's fucking feet.
What subject is this?
No, like it's a tradition, like in church, you know, it's like a very Christian thing, like, you know, when they wash your feet.
So it's a church school.
Yeah, it must be a very fucking religious school.
Okay.
But that type of shit is being spread like wildfire. And I wanted to bring it up like Julius Malevin when he sings his fucking More Chance and he sings Kill the Bird. You must have a social responsibility to kind of fucking be like, I'm singing this song and a lot of people are going to take this literally. And what does that look like to the rest of the world? You know, that's a social responsibility that you must have. Like when you consume social media or when you spread social media, you must have a little bit of social responsibility to be like, yes, am I causing harm to the situation? Is this doing anything good? Like sending this message across and seeing 100 other people now feel a little bit more resentment and a little bit more hate. What does that fucking bring?
Yeah.
There's many ways on how to represent mistreatment or unfair treatment in a way that doesn't bring up like we must punish or we must threaten these people, because then what are we doing? We're just creating more violence and confusion amongst the people that don't.
Let's tie it in, right?
Yeah.
Remember, the premise of this conversation is that man is inherently evil.
Yeah.
So when this comrade jumps onto the platform and he says kill the Boer, firstly, right, he's not talking to you guys.
No, I understand the struggle. I understand the struggle, Song.
Let me cook. He's not saying it to you.
Yeah.
He's not even saying it to me. You know why? Because it doesn't evoke anger. He's saying it to the people who are struggling with the concept of how do I get over what has happened. So it's an emotional thing. Why is he galvanizing you emotionally? Because he wants to control you. That's the reason for that.
I get that.
Yes.
But one thing,
I'm not saying it's wrong or right.
no, and also I get the things, but if you go to how he acts after that, because he's had many interviews where after that people ask him, you can't say that, and he's like, no, he takes in a very aggressive stance. If we must, we will. You know, he said that in one of the interviews. If we must, we will. Bruh. Like, what the fuck would you say?
It's provocative.
It is provocative.
It gets the people going.
And he's like South Africa's Trump. I'm now classing Julius as a South African Trump.
Wow.
Giving him the title.
Wow.
Yeah, because he says shit that just wants a little bit of media.
Yeah, but Trump is proven. Trump can sell anything.
It's true. You can see selling his land to other businesses.
So please don't
Julius is clever, bro.
Underrate Donald Trump.
No, but also you don't underestimate Julius.
Really.
Because you know, like I watch him sometimes and I'm always amazed, you know, like sometimes I watch him here and I'm like, Yura, I want to grip you and be like, why? And then other times I'm like, yeah, bro, you fucking puss, yeah, that's 100% what I think. You know, it's such a conflict that I have all the time with fucking Julius Malema.
Yeah.
And I always think back to it, like politics is just a game.
Yeah.
But he's playing a little bit of for me, a game that should be eradicated a long time ago. We're in 2025 now, bro. Like we shouldn't be taking these types of approaches where
But this is what I'm saying to you. If you want to nullify Julius Malema, you don't eliminate him. You eliminate what gives him the power. What gives him the power is his ability to evoke emotion in people. So you have to address that emotion. And this is the question that I want to put forward to you. It's like, how do you get people to forget?
How do you make people forget?
Yeah. I mean, you're reading Roots now.
Yeah.
Right?
I hear you.
You're seeing what that young man is going through.
I do hear you. And I feel that there's also a lot of misplaced hate. You know, like it's not just you're now hating the concept that is what is coming. You know, how do you forget the hate? Is if you focus so much on the past, you're never going to see the future. You know, and retribution. How would you like retribution to happen as a human, as a Christian, as a fucking Muslim? I don't know. I don't know. That's your personal fucking thing. But to me, is if somebody wronged me in the past and I keep on the resentment, it's not going to get me from having a better future.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how I get past. Many people have hurt me.
Yeah.
I've overcome many things, not to an extent that obviously it was generational, but like I had to get over it to a point where if I don't get out of it,
change the course of your family's destiny.
I agree.
I'm asking you.
You still have to get. It could be a death of your partner. Anything could happen to you in life. It could be so bad that losing a loved one.
No. You know what? Like you're talking a very sensitive topic, bro. You know, I've got this good friend of mine. He's like one of my closest friends in my life, and we became close friends because I was close friends with his sister. Right? His sister was murdered in her house, unprovoked. Yeah, I'm saying.
Terrible. Yeah.
I remember a couple years ago we were walking through the streets of Hatfield together, and he's telling me that they finally caught the guy.
Oh, amazing.
After 7 years.
Fuck. I'm sure the happy family must be puss happy.
And he's telling me how much he's having trouble processing forgiveness. You understand?
Yeah.
Shannon.
I understand that fully, bro.
Dog. And I'm not saying I don't understand what you're saying, right? I'm saying that it's not easy.
It's not easy,
and a lot of people, it's not even the maturity, it's the strength. A lot of people don't have the strength to rise to the occasion like that. And
So-
these are the ones
But
that
then you're
that
making
are
that
being-
decision. You're making that decision to give up.
Yeah, so what?
So what? That's
what
cool.
if I'm making the decision?
That's cool. But then don't.
Yeah.
The problem that I'm having is then don't spread your
No, you can't
unhappiness
tell me
around your.
what to do. You
No,
cannot.
Okay, so you're happy to be a person that upsets people. Is that what you're saying? Or you don't care if you upset people? Fuck it.
I'm upset. It's a virus. Ask me why I'm upset.
Well, then people won't spend time with you anyways. Naturally, they'll just leave you.
No. You know who will be attracted to me? Other upset people.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah. Then it with enough upset people, do you know what we can do? We can upset the country.
Yeah, and then
So-
put what?
so-
and then
so-
be upset
No,
with more upset people.
Then we're gonna upset you.
No. Why would you upset me? Because I'll get over it.
I'm just saying.
I'll get fucking
I'm
over it.
I'm just saying, Shannon.
I'll make my best
Shannon. I'm on team forgive.
Yeah.
Right, but I understand the monstrous task at hand.
I get it.
Do you understand? No, I
But
don't. I think you need to finish roots for you to get
Fuck you if you think I don't understand. I'm telling you, the only way to get over it is to understand the past, know the past, feel ways how you want to improve your own future.
Yeah.
But don't bring hate and don't bring other negativity around, because what are you gonna create then?
Bro.
You're just gonna create a cycle and a circle, and then what's that gonna bring?
Some people got no problem with that.
Yeah, well then you guys are all fucking
Some
dumb.
people have no problem with
Then
that.
those people are fucking dumb. Because if you think about why we are here as humans, is it not to experience life to the
Not
fullest?
to mention, like,
Or is it to bring down other people or
think
make
about,
other people's
think
life
Think
count?
about the deep spiritual work that needs to be done to forgive on that level. Think about my friend, right? 7 years have passed. 7 is God's number. 7 years have passed. He's still struggling.
My bro, I understand.
It's a spiritual weight.
It's a
I'm
journey.
building a case.
Yeah.
Now, you think about spirituality and how vast the concept, the subject of spirituality is. Because maybe you have a Christian background. Maybe you're not practicing as a Christian today, but you know that, oh man, if people fuck with me, I have a choice whether I must forgive or not. Other people in their spiritual practice, they are taught vengeance.
Yeah.
It's
Which
you.
day one.
It's not something that is done to oppose.
Which religion?
No, I'm just saying cultures are different.
Okay.
Cultures are
Interesting.
different. Cultures are different.
Yeah. My thing is, I'm not saying let's forget the past.
No, I didn't even hear you say that. So I know you're not saying that.
I'm saying we've got to look forward, because if we keep on looking back, we are not going to move at all.
No, we also
And
need to.
I get-
we also
I get
need to
you.
get rid of the people who like to remind us of the past.
Yeah.
Those people. But how, dog? How?
But like I'm saying, bro, you've got to be a responsible person.
If the streets from the east of Pretoria to the west of Pretoria is named.
Let's do a poll in one of our things. Who wants the world to be a Lekker place, or who wants the world to be shit? And let's see. Let's fucking see. Because right now it feels like everybody wants the world to be shit. It doesn't make sense. Like I don't know if I'm just stoned the whole time, and I think like, why do people do the things we're doing now, like war, like bombing Israel, like, bro, it's not even just Israel, it's Sudan, it's Yemen, it's all of these places. Like, fuck, it's crazy.
Why does exploitation exist?
Bro, why is the world fucked? So the only way is to make a conscious effort every fucking day. Wait, let me get to land. And it comes back to what you post. It comes back down to what you comment. It's like, is this beneficial to the greater good of my life and the community around me? And if it's not, fucking don't post it. Because what you're doing is you're just creating more fire, and that's what they want. The politicians want it. They want separation. It just like, they want you to feel that anger. They want you to feel that hurt, like, which is right for anybody to feel. Somebody murdered your family, bro. I don't know how you get over that. But you do have to get forward. You forget about it. I've had many things in my life. I've been abducted in Thailand, and I've been stabbed, where I've been rushed to fucking intensive care unit for 7 days. I don't live my life thinking everyone's going to stab me, and I don't think when I go on holiday everyone's going to fucking abduct me. You know what I mean? I got over it. I'm thinking I don't hate anybody. I don't hate a person in this world. I got over it, and I'm like, it's not going to better my life by thinking and sitting on a fucking couch and being like, yes, those fucking people in Thailand, I should kill them.
Let me tell you something. My diva will be proud of you. My diva will be proud of you. Even rest in peace, Pope.
Yeah. Francis.
Even even
Madiba.
Pope, even
Not Pope. No.
Pope Fred. I was like, oh, really?
No. No, I don't know. I don't think I'll get a. I don't think I'll get a Pope. I don't like what how tainted the Catholic Church is. No offense to all my Catholic homies, but just like very tainted.
Please don't unsubscribe.
Yeah. Like no. Like I just feel like I wouldn't get a Pope because I don't represent that in my life. There's no
Pope that you fucked with.
No. Yeah. Except, did you see there's going to be maybe a potential black Pope?
Yeah, I saw in the draft.
Yeah. But did you see the conspiracy of the Pope that there's only one more spot for this Pope that has now died? He's in the Vatican, and there's only one more space in this whole room of all the popes. Now he was the last Pope, and then there's a conspiracy that Donald Trump is the last president of the democratic world, and it's been aligned, and in that it says there is the end of the world, it's the apocalypse. And then I was like, oh fuck. And then she caught me. She was like, but apocalypse doesn't mean the end of the world, it means the start of the new age, which is very exciting for me, because like what she said is the way of the past, how they were controlling us through the churches and how they were controlling us through politicians, is now going to be completely given back to the people, which is a very cool thought, because we as the people know the problems of the people, like VAT. Did we speak about VAT in the last video? I don't know if
yeah, you did. We did. Yeah.
Well, thank fuck. Because that would have crumbled this economy, dude.
Yeah.
And then that's why also that's where Julius gave me a lot of respect. Was like he was.
You gave him a lot of respect.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I was listening to him and like how he spoke about the ANC. How did the ANC get were applauding, and then they were saying they were opposing the budget? How did that fly? It was your minister that gave the budget, and then you guys were majority of the votes that said yes to it. So how are you coming in with any marketing ploy? He didn't say it was thanks to the DA though, but he was giving like a lot of factual points, like the ANC must catch a wake up. The GNU is on their heels the whole time, creating better policies, and then the rest of the world's going to catch up. But I like this idea of a GNU. They must keep it all the time. I like it. Bro, it's just accountability.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's a system of accountability to external parties.
Yeah.
Not internal
part. Yeah. So fuck, the GNU must be a thing worldwide.
Yeah.
Everybody should be into it, because why would you be keeping secrets?
Yeah.
Why are you keeping secrets from other people that are as intelligent of you and have the interests of other people in South Africa
but wait,
that people don't have interests of?
I wanted to ask you something.
I didn't like the EFF going to Orania though.
They went there.
They marched hardcore. I don't know why they're so fixated on Orania all of a sudden.
It's unbelievable that some shit like that exists in South Africa.
It is quite crazy, yeah. But it's like a retirement home of sorts for Afrikaners, right? That's how I see it.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. It's like a kibbutz.
But I wanted to ask you, what?
And would a black person really want to move there? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
You spoke of the end of the world.
Yeah.
What do you think about the end of the world? Do you think the world is gonna end? Can it end?
Well, obviously I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think obviously it can end. It can be struck by another meteor.
What you think, not what you know.
No. I'm not a scientist, no.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is, I feel that if it is to end, it's going to be a catastrophe. Cheers, Zulu. Good luck in your next fight, my brother.
Take care.
He's fighting in Ryzen, which is a Japanese, started by who's the fucking gangsters in Japan?
Yakuza.
The Yakuza, to launder money. And now they were bought over by Real Promotion. I don't know if I should be saying this live, but 155. But it's all documented. No, it's documented on a documentary. That's how I know the information. It's not like I got the information secretly.
Okay.
But yeah, and he fought for the title in December. and he narrowly lost on decision. Yeah, but he's a champion, bro.
That's crazy.
Heritage to the Zulu King.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a real fucking would have been a good warrior because he fucking knocks people the fuck out.
Okay, really?
Jesus, yeah, no. He's EFC champion, South Africa double champ, so he won 2 weight classes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So he's
crazy.
the champ.
That's crazy.
Like
Champ,
what Conor
champ.
McGregor did in UFC, he did it in the EFC. Triggers did it. I think Triggers did it first, then Zulu, or it was the other way
shit,
around. Yeah.
Okay, so he's like the champ.
Yeah, he's really good, bro.
That's
Risen is a big promotion. And they make much more money than they do in SA.
That's
But anyways, coming back, what were we talking about?
The end of the world.
The end of the world. Yeah. Dude, I think it would be human, or if it's not human catastrophe, like this virus that we had, something stupid like that. But also, I'm cool with whatever. I can't live my life concerned that there's a meteor strike that might wipe us out again.
But how do you think the world is going to end?
Like I just said, honestly, human. It could be. You know what always?
You think humans are going to end before the world ends?
Yeah. Yeah. I
That's
think
interesting.
definitely.
You think we're living wild out here?
No, I think the world's a bit fucked up right now, and we're not thinking like I just said, and putting the community first and making conscious decisions about everybody around us. The world is a very selfish fucking place, and many monetary driven. So like the COVID, pushing vaccines, stuff like that. Maybe a slip up like that. I don't know. It could be like I Am Legend vibes, zombie virus. It's scary because like I always think like movie directors are pulling that from somewhere. You know, like there's got to be some sort of truth to these alien things. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be an alien invasion, but I do think it would probably, if the world was to end, humans fucking up. That's it.
What about nuclear war?
It could be, but that's humans fucking up. Like there's no need for a nuclear war.
Yeah. What about the second coming?
Second coming? What is the second coming? Is Jesus coming back?
Yeah, you never heard of the second coming?
I know Jesus is coming back.
That's crazy. Yeah. Coming back.
Coming back, yeah. And eradicating all the non-believers.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll be the one to do the eradicating. Maybe
Wow.
they would have been eradicated. He's just coming to collect his people.
South Park did a crazy episode, Simpson did a crazy episode about it, where everyone just gets lifted up and the rest of them have to go up to the mountain. And
Do you have a tattoo of Jesus Christ?
I don't have a touch of Jesus Christ.
Why
no.
not? What do you
think,
know about Jesus Christ?
You know, I like the idea of Jesus being a black Jesus. Ever since I saw that one documentary of like them fucking around with the Bible, I've always now in my head envisioned him as a black Jesus.
I like that you like that idea.
Yeah, like I think he would definitely be, maybe not super black. He could be some like maybe more of the North African type of Sudanese looking people. I don't know.
Super black.
I think they've really fucked his look up, and now I'm quite angry.
So how do you think the color of Jesus affects a believer in Christianity?
Yeah, no, I can see it as superiority.
Do you think they pulled a number on Africans?
Definitely, bro. The world was a fucked up place. That's what I'm saying. The world has been a fucked up place for so long. For so long. You know, like the one guy that says he remembers Jews with big noses. They came back with pointy noses. Like shit like that. Like the history books have been falsified. The Bible has been rewritten. The world is a fucking crazy place. We've got to make the conscious thought to have these deeper understandings, maybe question things a little bit more, and then also not to unravel in the question to get hate, because that is a dangerous slope. You could be like, oh fuck these people, but it's done now. I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
I must just live my life the way I want to live my life.
Yeah, no, dog, you know, bro, the world is wild.
How do you want to see Jesus? How do you see Jesus?
How do I see Jesus?
Yeah.
Thank you for asking me, man.
Yeah.
You know, I have to say, I love that question. It's one of my favorite questions
Oh, really?
in life. because it gives me a rare opportunity to be as transparent about what I believe in my core as possible. Right? One, I'm not a Christian. Right? Not at all. I was when I was growing up. I was raised like that, but not anymore. Two, Jesus is the best person to have ever lived. You know what I'm saying?
So you're a firm believer he walked the earth?
Yeah. Not on water, but on earth.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he was born of a virgin. I don't know if he died for our sins. All I know is that is one person who it clicked in his brain that, you know, he is a child of God, which is the universe. You know?
I've got God on my leg.
What color is he?
He's a statue. I don't know.
Not a word.
I don't know. I guess you could decide what color he is. It's quite dark skinned.
Where is he? Which one
This
is
guy.
That's God.
Yeah. What color is he?
Looks quite imperious. Yeah, I think it's dark.
There's your answer.
Definitely melanated. Melanated God. Yeah, so that's what I think about Jesus. I think he's just the greatest example to have lived in terms of how to believe in an individual sense.
That's a cool. So just he was the most person that used the divine creation through himself.
Yes.
He was the vessel, the vessel in history that did it the best.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what I think. Actually, yeah, the best is
So the artist
like a high school
that did this. His name is Joshua.
Okay.
Kicked off. Yeah. I think JFK_tattoo for anybody that wants to check him out.
Okay.
And this is his interpretation of religion. And it's got the creator stepping out the universe. He's got a light bulb for Lucifer, Lucifer morning star, the light bringer. So it's a little bit of a play on the NKH actually like despise him, but he was a fallen angel. And then around him is the snake. And the belief is the religion is the snake, so he cut off the head of the snake. And that's, in my interpretation of this, I believe like I don't have a specific religion, so whatever your religion is, I appreciate it and I would like to learn more, so therefore I'm becoming your religion. So whenever it comes in, I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
So were you ever raised in
I was
any of
Christian.
But you didn't like indulge in the information.
I hated going to the church. Hated it. I hated that class that I went to on Sunday. Like, it just wasn't me, and it was because the person that taught it was basically teaching it how they've been taught, which is not like.
Do you have any religious rituals that you partake in, like maybe meditate? You strike.
So no, I do meditate, but I do pray. How do you pray? I speak to myself, to be honest, in that type of sense.
I like that.
I'm
outright inward. In
sometimes
a specific
outright
moment.
Usually before going to bed, and sometimes in the day. You know, depending on certain things. Because I did have a very heavy psychedelic trip, and I had a conversation to this being behind me, and our understanding is we're all connected, and that made a lot of sense to me.
That's what we're running with.
Yeah. No, so I was like from the day on, I used to have to be like on your knees type of vibe, but I'm always one, you know, like fucking, and that makes a lot of sense. That's how it, like from passages in the Bible, it made a lot more sense to me the way the scripture was written. If I was to believe that, like we are always working as a unity of Him coming through us. So then, but I'm also not that religious, and I'm spiritual to the sense that, like I said now, you like, I guess in this video, like this consciousness of being in a community and respecting one another and that type of shit. So in that terms, yeah, spirituality. I'm more spiritual, but I don't fucking take my crystals out on a full moon and charge them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm not that fucking. I'm not that deep.
Yeah, you're not a chakra hunk.
No.
So you know, one thing we haven't done in a long time is some confessions.
Some confessions. Oh, and there's been some. They've been cooking on there.
Do you have some? Let me see.
I think I must have sent on the group, dude. Let me check then.
Let me see.
And you even said,
I saw one that cracked me the hell up. Yeah, here's a very interesting one. It says, I've been chatting to two girls at the same time, both in the same company, but different departments. There's a conference happening next weekend, and they are both going to be there. What do I do?
So my first question to this guy was, how deep of a conversation? How much of are you in a relationship with both of them? Like, if you're just chatting, then what the fuck does it matter?
Yeah.
You know, like, you're a human, you can chat to whoever you like.
But I feel
So it depends on how deep of a hole he's dug with these chicks. Did he say he's not chatting to anybody else?
He says he's been chatting to two girls.
Yeah, he doesn't say that he's been telling them that he's only chatting to one. So, like, this guy might be a bit young, I would assume. And not understanding that, like, you are allowed to do whatever you are. And that specifically if you're single, you can chat to multiple people. Don't lie about what you're doing.
This is what I'm saying. This is why the answer is in the question.
Okay.
The answer is in the question. Because
he's already scared, so he's been doing.
He knows he shouldn't.
Yeah. He's told both of them they're the love of his life.
Yeah.
I feel you.
And he's like, oh my God, I know that this is gonna be crazy. let me text somebody.
Yeah.
But what counsel I would give him, you know, on some player shit, I feel like you only shoot the shots you don't miss. You know, it's not a crime to like two people. Maybe we can judge you for being in a relationship with two people, but to like two people and to figure out which one of the two you like more over time or through experimentation and flirting and kissing and shit.
If you really want to play it safe, just be open and tell both of them that you've been speaking, and then see which one takes it the best, and then go with that one.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
But I don't know about that last one.
That's good advice. That's solid advice, bro.
That's how you lose them both.
You were playing the game anyways, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a roll of the dice.
Now you're gonna be going upstairs or hiding at the party. It's inevitable that they're gonna meet.
But
it's inevitable that you're gonna see feelings.
I feel like you must also push your limit. You know, entertain them both.
No,
entertain them both.
Be open.
See
That's bad
if you
advice.
have
Just
the capacity to
Don't
juggle
lie.
them.
Don't lie.
Juggle the beaties.
Player, you can see you're a rapper.
Check me out on Bandcamp.
Okay. Yeah, that's one that's a topic that's pretty, I think, hitting a lot of people.
Okay.
I'm not as far as I thought I would be by now. I'm 25 and thought by now I'd be in a job that pays 12k. Instead, I'm earning far less than that. I studied a diploma but can't find any work in the field of study. I still live with my folks as I can't afford to have my own place. I just thought I'd be further along in the life than I currently am. I feel so behind.
Yeah. No, shout out to that person.
That doesn't say guy or a girl.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people are in this situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shout out for being bold enough to come out and say it. Come out with it. To tell you the truth, the best counsel I feel like I can offer in that regard is, you know, talk to somebody. And even texting just the confessions page, maybe reading through and being able to filter through the sarcastic comments and the real stuff. You know, you're on a path to being better just by being open enough to talk about it. You know,
and want to change.
Yeah.
And want better for yourself. I mean, not change.
Yeah.
Want better for yourself.
And I think another thing which young people because I imagine that person to be young.
This was 25.
Yeah, are struggling with right now is this conversation we've been having, like self-belief, what to believe in, how to believe. You know, it's like, you know, a bad day is not a bad life. You know, and a lot of people allow a bad period to define you know, their existence. And a lot of these things, to tell you the truth, when you brave it out, on the other side of it, you're empowered with a little more belief in yourself. You know, and that little belief counts towards bringing that which you believe closer.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I look at it. So I would just say, whatever religion that you practice, you know,
Even if you don't.
yeah, even if you don't,
Self-belief is a huge thing.
Yeah, do something that enriches your soul and encourages you. You know.
So, one thing my advice would be something like Simon Squibb. I don't know if you've checked him on social media. Simon Squibb. Simon Squibb.
Okay,
Squibb with a BB.
Okay,
He's
Squibb.
like, I think I've said his name right, but he goes to people and asks them, "What's your dream?"
Yeah.
And these people give him an answer, or they say, "I don't have a dream," and he's like, "No, come on, you must have a dream." Because his whole thing is, if you really want to make money, you've got to find your dream, and you've just got to push on it. And then whether you make loads of money or not a lot of money, so be it. But also a lot of the people in this age, and I was also prevalent to it, because I was comparing myself. This is the big thing that I think this person and a lot of people are doing, is comparing themselves to others on different paths, with different stories. Remember, no, we don't know your parents' background, if you were like extremely disadvantaged. You know, like 12k is a lot of money. There was a lot of comments that people were saying, like you say, sarcastic comments, 12k, that's not even enough. The 12k to a lot of people is a lot of money. So stop comparing yourself to the people on Instagram, number one, because they're not going to tell you when they're broke and when they can't afford the fucking things, because everybody goes through that stage. Not everybody's life is fucking perfect. And if their life is perfect, you've got to like really look deeper down the line and say, do I really want to compare myself to that person? Because I am not that person, you know? And that's what people do on social media.
Yeah.
It's just compare myself to PT. He was he was on holiday last month. He's on holiday again this month. He's on holiday again the next month. You're like, what the fuck? What am I doing wrong?
So the deeper thing is definitely.
But you've also got to work. You know, that's the thing.
Mental health.
Yeah.
You know, it's something also that this person might need to have checked out.
100%. But like you said something interesting. Asking for help, talking to your homies, talking to people that you I know it's quite difficult, but I can strike up a conversation in a way with this guy sitting across from us here in Highgrove, and be in a way to see if he has anything that I can assist him on or work on for him, and then see if I can make money from that. You've got to really, if you want to make money, unfortunately, you got to think fucking smart. You either have to think smart and get lucky, or you got to be smart and work fucking hard. That's
or just put the blinders on and fucking do
it.
something.
Yeah. Work your way up the corporate ladder. Start at a job that's earning you 4k. Get up to 20k or whatever.
Have a plan. You know, when that person says, "I thought I'd be further," like, why did you think that? Why did you think that? If you thought that, there must have been a plan. If you wished that, then of course there was no plan, and you can't be surprised that there's no result. You know, because it's not like this. That person, I don't know if it's a he or a she. I imagine it to be a her, but it could also
I
be
think it's
him.
a guy. I might think it's a guy.
I can't tell their race.
But,
this is the most treacherous.
This one's a bad one. We can't say.
Yeah.
This is a they them.
Everybody.
It's a they them she he.
It's a everybody. To everybody.
No, it's a big topic, and I think around the world even.
Yeah.
Bro, I was speaking to my friend's dad, and he said by the age of 23 he owned 2 cars and a house.
Yeah, dog. I was listening to Elon Musk.
It was different, bro. Banks were giving out loans to fucking anything that they got seen.
Listen.
Times. the money was being spent. We weren't getting taxed on fucking crazy things. It was a different period. So our parents even judging us on our lifestyle. It's crazy. We live in a completely new world. Where, look at, even in Australia, it's happening. People in Australia can't even afford their homes, and they're earning in fucking Aussie dollars. So it's not just here in South Africa, it's all around the world. The world's fucking crazy. And that's maybe what Trump is doing. I heard that he's bringing down the value of the dollar just to create a little bit of stabilization on the inflation. If this plan works in 2 to 4 years, then people are going to be like, this motherfucker deserves the Nobel Peace Prize, because what he's going to do for the country is crazy. But or if it flops, then fuck, it's still better than the Biden administration, I suppose.
Yeah. Look, you know my position on Trump.
Anyways, we're not supposed to talk about that. But this is a very important topic that I think you said something. Talk to people, dude. Get some advice. Speak to your parents. See if there's other opportunities.
Like it's also.
You also said like that, the planning part. Like you've got to think about it. It's not going to just come.
I mean, dog. I relate to that a little bit, in a lot of ways. But one such is that statement. I thought I'd be further along, and that's what made me ask that question. Because, okay, look, I saw myself being 21. I never imagined myself being 30. So when it was my 30th birthday, I'm like, God damn, what have I been doing?
Yeah, but like life's path is you can't be saying that, because you've also accomplished a hell of a lot.
And what I'm also getting at is that it's never too late to come up with a plan.
No,
For
never.
as long as you're still breathing.
Colonel Sanders was 60 when KFC was launched.
Man, what about Morgan Freeman?
Dude, that's the craziest story.
You understand what I mean? So
Morgan, that boggled me. Yo, black don't crack.
Wow.
Because he's old now, bro.
Yeah.
He's fucking 90 something.
But he been old.
No, I know, but he started old.
Yeah.
He started real old,
exactly,
bro. And he looked great when he started. Fuck. Anyways.
Yo. This is LoudSpoken.
Yeah, LoudSpoken.
The Loud has spoken.
Yo Uno, otherwise known on the podcast as Uno the Dank Dude.
Uno the Dank Dude.
Shan the Cannon. That's LoudSpoken. That was a good one.
Yeah. Shout out, homeboy.